Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
And yes, indeed, it is. It is always vital to the future of you. For you all, I don't know. It is vital. It is vital to the future of us all. I have many important things, many important messages. But, very excitingly, we have more than one guest with us tonight. We have three guests. And I'm not sure how long the first one's going to be for. He's going to be popping in and out, maybe. I'm not sure. I think he might pop back in an hour, but I do not know. Because there's going to be a link that we're going to want to press. Firstly, daylight savings time is messing up the world. They can't deal with it, right? It's like everything's always wrong. I set my thing to come on at 7 o'clock in Israel time, 5 o'clock UK, right? And it can't understand it. No, it can't work it out. So I have to set it to 8 to come on at 7. Like, it's like, okay, fine. It can't get its freaking head around it. And then I go and I go to start, and it's like, oh no, you're not starting for an hour. No, I'm starting now. It's you who made me go an hour. However, Twitter makes me schedule my posts an hour later because they can't get their head around it either. Like, really? The clocks have changed. These are not small companies. You would have thought they would be able to work this out. And so my first guy I'm going to bring on right now because I do not know how long he has. It is he's from a man from a place with I think the highest comics pedigree of all time. The highest comics pedigree of all time it could be said to be the birthplace, or at least the inception. I will say birthplace of comics. It might be the inception as well. Who knows? I wasn't there that night. And so his town, it like seeps comics. And you know, just living there, it seeps comics into you, and you can totally tell with his work. His work exudes just understanding of how the playfulness. It's his personality, very lovingly, boom, and funnily. And rather macabre laid out in front of you. It's very exciting. He has an Indiegogo. Sorry, I nearly said Kickstarter. That would be terrible. He has an Indiegogo starting. It might have already started. It is Dundee's own William Wally Hazel. Willie,
how are you, man?
I'm very, very good. Yeah, so listen, I have to tell you, whenever I think of like an old-timey comics guy, like, you know, like you like they're in a smoke-filled office. There's like 6 of them, and you know, they're making like, you know, the greatest thing ever in 1976. Yeah, they don't you always looks like you in that photo. It always looks like there's one of you there. You know, it's like you always look like that archetypal old comics guy.
That's a good compliment. I'll take that.
Okay, well, good. It was meant well. It was meant well.
I probably would have nicotine fingers, you know, and
exactly. Well, you know, it's just that era, you know, that like if I could travel anywhere in time, if I would so go to the Marvel bullpen, 1973, right? Yeah. And it could be one of those, you know, like invisible observers, like Data in that beginning of that Star Trek movie when he goes crazy. Right, I quite like that one. I like that. I quite like that movie. That's the first place to go. So, Willie, what's up? Are you? Have you launched your book yet? Are you doing it?
I'm launching it on Charlie's London's channel.
Right,
either 6:15 or 6:30 tonight. So that's exciting because I've never done that before.
You don't have to actually go there. There is a link. It's in the chat right now. Direct to. I'm assuming it's just going to go straight to it. It's in there right now. I'm signed up. I'm signed up as your. I'm on your mailing list.
I'm having a wee bit of trouble. Because my Gmail seems to not want to blind carbon copy all the emails, so I might not get an email out to you. But that's one of these technical things.
This is the Israeli response, and it's a perfect response when your situations are beyond your control, right? And it could be like, you know, the world's about to end, or it could be like I can't turn the channel over on TV. This is what you say. You go, Malasot. Yeah, there you go. That's what Israelis at Malasot. So there you go.
Right. Okay. I'll see if I can get it sorted before the time. But yeah, if not, I'll just go. Yeah. Malasot.
Well, there you go. Look at that. You're like
go.
a native. Very
That's
international. So, okay, what is your Indiegogo tonight?
Well, it's going to be for Elsa Dark, Werewolves and Bampots. I could share the cover with you here for the third issue.
The conclusion for it. Now, listen, because you haven't launched yet, though. This is what you need to do. You need to go over there. You click the link now. Go over there. You open it in another window. Stay with the screen. But open it in a new window. You want to sign up. I'm screwing over Willie by telling you this. Okay, I'm literally screwing him over by telling him it. You want to go and sign up for the mailing list, right? Because you get two things, don't you? You get the badge, right? You get which I actually and the sketch card, and I signed up specifically to get with any order you get, and so the badge is Teddy Bogelman, which is Dundee's own Freddy Krueger, and the sketch card, I guess it'll be a sketch or something along the same lines, right?
This sketch card here is just to be one of the Teddy Bogelman that I did as a week.
I meant Tales from the Crypt. I've got the wrong guy.
Yeah. But what you're going to get is you'll get a sketch card of the Teddy Bogelman or one of the werewolves or a Bampot or Elsa Dark. It's just I'll be sitting, I'll be drawing them all, and I'll kind of mix it up, and one of them will go in this nice wee sleeve, one of these wee collectible sleeves. I'll sign them, and you'll get that free.
Let me ask you, if you're adding that on as a tier, how much would that be? I'm asking you for a practical question there because I'm working.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can buy the badges as an add-on for a couple of pounds on the actual campaign.
Sketch card, specifically the sketch card.
Yeah, so the sketch card, I don't know, I probably would charge about £10 or £15 for one of these. So
okay, that sounds reasonable. That sounds totally.
That's not bad at all. So that's a good wee freebie. The only other way you can get a sketch card in the actual campaign is if you buy the Fear box, which is my highest tier, which has got lots of goodies in it.
I was looking at that. That looks fun. Go through that. Go through that because it's a good tier. I mean, look, it's going to out most of the price range, but if you can afford it, it's freaking awesome. Go through it.
It's not too bad if you break it down. You get all 3 issues. So the first 2 issues are 36 pages each, and the third issue is 52, and that's a complete story. That's 124 pages of comic book.
That's a fair whack. That is a fair whack.
And you get the Teddy Bogelman 3D comic book special with the 3D specs.
It's so cool. Okay, it's so those old timey 3D comics. Alan Moore did it in League of Extraordinary, but it so didn't work when he did it. Right, it so didn't work because it was too dark. He actually knows how to do it. Right, he actually knows how to make it.
It works.
Cool. I can't. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'm actually. Well, firstly, how much is this box?
It's £225. This is the biggest tier. Okay, £225.
Nice. Okay, so you get
free postage worldwide. Right? Free postage. Doesn't matter where you are.
You get a 3D comic. I love the 3D comic.
3D comic. So that's 4 comics you get.
Right.
And one of them, the third one at 52 pages is practically like a graphic novel. So that's 4 that you get in there. You're also going to get a making of, which is a 28-page making of Elsa Dark, and that's going to tell you the history of the character. You're going to get some images from the print run that I trashed, the very first print run that nobody ever saw. You're going to go through the process of how I created it, and it's also going to give you some teasers of what's coming up next year with the characters and stuff as well. So this is kind of like a real proper getting into my head as to what
makes Elsa Dark tick. The title, Werewolves and Bampots. It's so you, right? It's like
totally.
I'm talking to you now that I know you, rather than the first time we met when you're on my channel. Because now I'm much more into. I mean, look, I was into it when I saw it, but I'm much more into it now because I know you, right? And I can see you in it, and it's a lot of fun, right? It's just
I guess fun. That's it. It's very much just like
dark and scary as well. Don't be wrong.
It's dark and scary, but it's meant to be fun.
The Crypt vibe, right? It's got that balance of horror and comedy. I love it.
It's got extreme violence and blood and gore everywhere, but you can still show it to a kid. A 12 or 13-year-old would love it. I wanted to make it the kind of comic that when I was 12.
Be careful saying that. This stream is being monitored by crazy people now. We're being monitored, but I've been targeted by this insane group. This insane.
But what I mean by that is it's very much PG-13, so you're not going to get any sex or the extreme swear words or that. So the kind of stuff. The kind of stuff you would get in a PG-13.
They will. So and they're crazy. So just be careful. Don't say
crazy. 13-year-old. Can I just say crazy people? If you're listening, crazy people, you'll love it.
Yes, you should back it. Yeah, the crazy.
Please do.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? You want to know why? Because I think Willie's right for being cancelled, right? I think he's right for it. But you're only going to know if you get that full box, if you get that $225 pound box, right? You're only going to know how cancelable he is. And so, listen, and you're gonna you want to buy them out. You want to buy them out.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what else is in it, because it's only 20 of these, and the reason I'm only doing 20 of these is so you've got those 4 comics.
I'm just saying, you only need to buy 20 of this to break this man, right? If you buy all 20, you'll crush him. Okay, carry on.
You will break me, because if you buy all 20, if you buy all 20, you've got a lot of money. But if you do buy one, you get the comics, you get the badge, you get a sketch card, and of course, if you're on the mailing list, you're going to end up with 2 badges and 2 sketch cards. I'll get you a second badge that's different as well.
There you go. Well, that's only if you buy all of them, right? Or if you buy
definitely. No, if you buy one, I will make sure that I've got a separate badge, so you're not going to get a double badge. I will make a specific badge for the guys that have done that if they're on the mailing list. So what else is in there? It's also going to have a couple of prints that were from the first campaign. One is Eels of Dark versus Dracula, and another one is Eels of Dark and the Tatty Bogoma. There's a couple of prints that are going to be in there. And the main thing that you're going to get is you're going to get like a commission from me. So once you've bought it, you let me know what character you want, and I'll do a drawing of that character on like an A4.
That is cool.
A commission for you. So for 225, you get pretty much everything and a commission.
Well, like a pin-up, like a full pin-up.
Like a full pin-up. It could be anybody. It could be a character from the comic. You could say, do me the Tatty Bogo Man, or you could say, do me Batman, or you could say, do me Dog Maker or whatever.
Fighting Batman? Can they commission that, or is that too many figures?
I'm thinking one character would be
one character.
Best, for the kind of price range I've got there. So, but you never know.
I tell you, it's
if that takes my fancy. If I
have a feeling.
If they're fighting the Tatty Bogo Man, I'll put 2 characters in there. Because I can draw him in my sleep.
I have a feeling that if you do buy this box, what's the box called again?
It's called the Fear Box.
If you buy
you'll see it when it goes live. I want to show you, because if anybody doesn't know who the Tatty Bogo Man is, can I just mention? I'm trying to remember my prices here as to what I've got. I'm going to quickly bring up something to see. It's also got a postcard set in that as well. That's a set of 6 postcards with all the covers from the campaign,
very cool.
Plus the Tatty Bogo Man Wants You, which is a poster kind of card that I've done, and a 3D version of that card too. And of course, you'll have a 3D specs.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
If you don't know who the Tatty Bogo Man is, this campaign is set up so you can buy all 3 issues straight away. So the main featured tier, which is like, I think, oh God, I can't remember the price now. I'm going to have to double check it. Because I'm working between dollars and pounds. I get confused. I get so confused.
Did I tell you my brilliant idea for when I do my campaign?
Yeah.
I'm going to, and I'm trying. This is why I'm glad I'm going to have like a sign up list going for a month. I'm going to work out that I'll do shipping in America, then I'll get a bulk shipping sent to England, and I get a fulfillment center in England to fulfill it. So therefore, everybody gets cheaper shipping. Like, instead of being $30 for shipping for the UK, it'll be like 12 or 15, which is like that's doable, right? That I would be much happy.
I mean, the shipping's the thing that breaks these things, and I've kept it as low as I can. I've kept it as low as I can. The Fear Box has free shipping, regardless of where you are.
And free shipping?
Yeah, because the Fear Box is one of these things, because it's one of these things you don't want to, I'm going to spend £225, and then you go to the checkout and there's like 60 quid postage added to it. So I decided, no, I'm going to, whoever goes for that, you get free shipping with it. So what you see
listen, you do not need to do any genealogy tests. I can guarantee you there's no hint of Jewish heritage in you. We would never do that.
That's strange saying that to a Scottishman, but there you go.
Are you getting from a Scottishman? Wow.
I mean, you do pay for the postage and all the other tiers, except there's a tier where I've done, hang on a minute, I'll show you. It's not quite finished yet. This is a one-off tier. Right, so you might want to big me up for this. This is a one-off tier. And it's a pencil drawing of the Tatty Bogo Man as Norman Rockwell. So it's the classic Norman Rockwell self-portrait, only in this case it's a Taddy Bogleman. So I've still got a few wee skulls and stuff to complete down here. It's based on a cover I did for one of my comics in the past, and I was never completely happy with it, and I thought I'm going to recreate it. So these are the pencils that I'm doing, and once I finish this pencil work, this is a tier as well. I think it's £170 to get this original art, free postage on it, so that's what you pay. You don't get anything else on that. So this is if that tickles your fancy. It's a one-off, and I'm quite liking it myself. Actually, I think it's turning out quite nicely.
I like it. Here's the thing, though. You know, you're the artist. You think, oh, I could always make my own one. You never do. You never do. Once you sell it, it's gone. Yeah, you're never going to see it. Like,
so I've got. I've had to shut down my second monitor, so I'm dead confused working with one monitor. CB artists are terrible. If you go for the featured tier on this, once it goes live, £45 plus postage. I've kept the postage as low as I can, regardless of where you are in the world. You'll get all the comics, and you get the complete story. You also get the chance to add other things on if you want to. So if you want to get the making of for an extra tenner, you can add it to it, but you don't have to go that way. You just get the full story. That's recommended tier if you just want to read Werewolves and Vampires. It's going to be a good read. Now, there is one 24-hour special that I'm doing. It's only going to be available for the first 24 hours. And this is the cover for the normal one. But you see, it's kind of like an interdimensional demon appeared from nowhere. Right. And this is the cover for the 24-hour special.
Oh man, I want that.
So
cover.
the Tatty Bogleman.
You say I have to buy it today. You have to buy it to get it. I love that.
Exactly.
That's the cover, right?
So he possessed me and forced me to do it. So I had to put it up on the campaign. And if you do go for this one,
I love that cover.
Cheers. If you do go for this one, make sure you scroll down afterwards, because you get the option to add on the first 2 issues, and you can add them on as an add-on, and it'll come out with the exact same price as if you take the featured tier for all 3. Okay, so you'll get the first 2 issues
plus shipping, right?
Yeah, that's it. So it's not that apparent in Indiegogo, because the way they put things in with their add-ons, they always put the cheapest one at the top. But if you do go for this one, chances are you're going to want the first 2 issues as well. So it's an add-on further down, and you can add it on. But some people might just want to go for this because it's slightly odd.
No. This is the cover you want. I love that cover.
Tatty Bogle. That was Charlie for Charlie's London said you need to call it Tatty Bogle. Yeah, it's Tatty Dark. You know, so I went Tatty Dark. Yeah.
Oh,
that's the original.
You know what? I might do that for my campaign. Commission you to do like a tatty cover. That'd be so fun.
That would be good. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, I get.
That's the way Tatty Bogleman works. He gets into your head, and you kind of get him out.
Because he's a great character. I like seeing him like appear. Like, wouldn't it be fun seeing him in like do a Mary Boys cover with Tatty Bogleman with the Mary Boys? I would love that. I would totally love that.
Only one person has drawn him so far, other than me, I think, and that was Peter Gilmore. He did a print with a lot of the Comics Gate characters, and away in the back, just standing next to Cyberfrog, is a Tatty Bogleman. So that was quite cool.
Very cool.
But yeah, so that.
But listen, everybody got to sign up, because you get that badge, and you get the you get the sketch card.
You get the sketch card. It's all quite easy to figure out, because Indiegogo can be quite confusing with all the different tiers and everything like that. But there's also a digital tier. If digital's your thing, you would just get digital copies of the comics to read. And I do my digital stuff really nicely as well. So you get multiple copies. So you get them as CBRs, you get them as single page PDFs, and as double page PDFs, depending on how you want to watch them. So if you're on a big computer screen, you want to open up the double page PDF. If you're on your wee mobile device, you want to use it. So I give you these options too. So they're not options, you get them all once you actually.
This is where my brain goes. This is where I get in trouble, right?
Right.
See, I remember when I was a young boy, you had those top shelf magazines, the Penthouse and Playboys, those ones, the forbidden fruit that you used to look up to when you were young, right? And
No
then,
idea what you're talking about.
and then if when you're 16 or so, you find your way to buy yourself some, right?
Yeah.
Is that era now over? Do they not have those anymore? I feel so sad for this generation.
I think it probably is gone. Yeah, I think it's.
Wow.
I think it's gone.
Wow. They'll never will.
See, I remember having to even buying Vampirella in the newsagent. It was a case of they put that up on the top shelf, so I had to, maybe 14, 15-year-old hand had to go up there with the rest of them to get a copy of Vampirella.
Yeah, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, very good. Here, let me start saying hello to the chat. Because 20 minutes in, I haven't done it yet. So we got Tartar's time here. Tartar's time's a good time. But got me in trouble. Come on, man. Trump 2020. I know. Did you see the thumbnail? Willie, did you see the thumbnail for this?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
So the cosplaying Trump and Biden, which has ruffled feathers. Lonnie Webb is here. How you doing, Lonnie Webb? Pop culture Avenger. Huzzah! How you doing? He's avenging pop culture. Left, right, and centre. Greetings, that's Wheeler Beckett and Lonnie Webb at Tartar's time. Trump 2020. Oh, okay. Listen, I do not represent anybody else's any opinion in the chat. Everybody is welcome to their own opinion. I do not want to sway anybody's election. However, good news. The Lebeckin household, has not one, not two, not three, not four, but five. Count them. 5 votes in a swing county in a swing state of Florida. 5 votes, baby. And listen, I think they're going on the team, man. That's all I'm saying. Was it last election? I love that. Last election, I was convinced he wasn't going to win it by that point. They just convinced me. I said, everybody can't be wrong. It just seemed to me he would win, but everybody can't be wrong. So I said, there's a thing called a kiddush, all right, which is like it's like a wake without somebody dying or booze, and as much booze, right? It's basically like you put a spread of food out, you do it on the Sabbath after morning service, right? You have it's a cake, as a kiddush. So I said, I will make a kiddush if Trump wins, right? Because I was kind of convinced he wasn't going to win, and then he won. So there, my wife, who I've been driving mad with politics. I just got so into it. I got too into it, way too into it. Got so super into it, but then she got on board. So we made that kiddush. It was a very special kiddush. My kid built a giant wall out of Legos across the table, right? And on one side of the table, we had Mexican food. We had like burritos and and the other side we had American food. And we had little army men forcing immigrants back and things like golden tea that was kept. My kids took a lot of pride in building that wall. So yeah. That was last. I don't know if he's going to win this time. I hope he does.
It's a hard one. It's difficult to work out what's happening now with social media and
I don't know. It's like a Biden scares me. Like the whole thing. Listen, the Hunter thing. Like what the hell? I mean, there's gonna be a piss tape of him next. He's with hookers. He's like, look, at that point, you're very compromised. I understand you grew up with a lot of money, a lot of ability, whatever. It's hard to have good character in that situation. Trump kids seem to manage it, but it's hard to have good character in that situation. I get it. You're on the crack, whatever. Things get crazy. But that's crazy. The crack pipe. Did you see the crack pipe pictures?
I avoided them. I saw the
my god!
And then I decided I'm not clicking on that.
It just hit my Twitter feed. I was like, whoa! I was like, why is there a guy?
Yeah, I just managed in time to. I'm not going there. Thanks. I thought no.
Man, there's just so much weird stuff. Listen. I consider myself a reasonably dirty, strange guy, right? I haven't thought of doing anything like that. That's crazy. Good luck too. Anyway, so there you go. Listen, the latter half of this show today is going to have you're going to have the rabbi's rabbi. It's like, you know, like Yoda was. You're having my rabbi come on, who is super Trumpy. He's like, it's like, listen. I find Trump funny. I kind of like him. I think he's done a good job. I'm like on board, right? I don't think he will say, I get people do, and I might be wrong. I'm not telling anybody what to think. Just whatever you want. But like, this guy is like, rah! So he wants to talk about the political stuff. I'm like, okay, fine, we'll talk about it. You'll get me caught up. So you're going to get the rabbi's rabbi. It's rabbi.
That'll not. There's no way that'll get you in trouble, is there?
Yeah, oh god, those kids have gone crazy. It's so funny. It's so funny because if you look at my Twitter feed, it's just like gone crazy. Not a big fan of Jody says Rob anybody. Hello, Rob anyway. I believe you knew him. But come on, man, that's just Rob. There's so many of them. Let me just tell you, on this channel, being wrong on so many levels is what we strive for. Is what we want.
That's laudable.
I consider that a good day's work. And Chris Berger says he's going to be 20 minutes late. Okay, well, I'm 20 minutes in already. Oh, I bet he was looking at the time according to YouTube, which was an hour 20. Fine, so we'll see Chris Berger hopefully in 55 minutes. I reckon we'll see him in 54 minutes. Chris Berger strikes me as a very punctual gentleman, right? Hello to people. TARDIS team is here. But which TARDIS team? Hey, that's what got me in trouble. You know what got me in trouble? It was TARDIS time, right? TARDIS time was a good time. So I'm like thinking, well, who would be a good time in the TARDIS? So I went through all the TARDIS teams, rating my chances of being able to enter sexual congress with the companions therein, right? Now, you know, in my imagination, I was kind of their age, you know, and I wasn't raping them because I don't think you need to say, I'm super not raping you. Once you start needing to say that, that's really weird. That is really weird. Speaking of really weird, you know who else we got here? We got Ryan Wynn. Ryan, how you doing, mate?
Hey, good to be here.
Hey,
Ryan, having me.
You know how long I've known Ryan for? I've known Ryan for a while now. I've known him maybe 27 seconds. How are you, Ryan?
I am doing well. I'm glad that I get up early and plan for these things because I had put us down for an hour later.
Oh, there you go. Okay, listen. Just
everybody does that.
Just relax. You wait into it. I'm saying hello to the chat. This is Willie. Willie's got his Indiegogo starting in about 45 minutes. We're going to be talking about yours. Everybody's Indiegogos and Twitters and YouTube channels are in the the video notes. Please go and back everybody. Go and follow everybody. Go and sub to everybody. You want to be a sub? Be a sub, baby. Be a sub. Oh yeah, they're Ramovi. Hit the subscribe button. Right, listen. I got to catch up. I got to say hello to the chat. Who are we up to? Of course. Lolly, how you doing, my good sir? No politician of whatever side should ever be wearing Doctor scarves. It's just wrong, isn't it? It's just wrong. That again, that's what we shoot for. Oh man, just jump like 20 minutes. Where'd he go? Okay, fine. Let me get back. Disaster areas here. My son is coming home today. Hopefully, if he doesn't blow things out. Because Ryan, let me tell you, my son, my younger son. If he was a superhero, you know what his superhero name would be?
I give up.
Disaster area. There you go. That's why I thought I have a very good affinity with the disaster area. And I'm not wrong. Listen, he's got a heart of gold, this kid. He's got a heart of gold. He's like the nicest person ever. I really like him. Like, I really genuinely like him. And I love having him around. Like, he's just nice. He's just really genuinely nice. But he's a disaster area. It's like, oh God, he's going to be a disaster in the army. I'm terrified. Fine. Problem being, how you doing? Lonnie, I think I said hello to you already. Time Prophet is here. Darren M is here. How are you? But of course, Time Prophet knew that because he is a prophet in time. Chris Lolly, I've already said hello to you. I hope you're speaking to me because I am trying to whiz through the chat to say hello to people. By the way, Ryan, have you seen anything about my channel before?
Not until yesterday. I'm brand new to it. Like you said, we just met, and so
There
I
you
caught up a
go.
little bit
There you go.
yesterday.
He's a rabbi virgin, ladies and gentlemen. A rabbi virgin. We will treat you gently, sir. Treat you gently.
Okay, thank
You know, we are.
Strap yourself in, Ryan.
Dealer Beckin, wow, you got Simon Pegg on the channel. Look, no, it's not Simon Pegg. Way better than Simon Pegg. It's Willie. It's now Willie and Ryan. Okay, Midlands. And I don't see anybody new yet. I hope it doesn't jump. I'm 13 minutes behind. I'm catching up, everybody. If you came in the last minute, Liam Nelson's chin here. I will find you, and I will kill you. Chin is here. Greensville, Pennsylvania. Trump rally did 5 miles from my house. A couple of these guys. So listen, I don't know. Is he going to win? Is he going to lose? I don't know. It could. I mean, like last time I thought it was going to take a freaking miracle. It did take a freaking miracle. I think there was like there's this Jewish holiday called Purim, which is all about miracles, right? And they say the nature of miracles, they happen very quickly. And a miracle is when reality inverts, when what is up comes down. And I still remember the night that of the election. I woke up and he wasn't doing great. I was like, I don't think you can pull it off. Because I'm a bit of a punk rock. I always like the underdog. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. Okay. So I was like kind of rooting for him. And he wasn't looking good. And then I woke up an hour later and it started looking good. And so I got the chart for that evening from the New York Times website. I had started up with Hillary up here and Trump down here, right, and chance to win. And it went the chart went. I'd put in a diagonal. They crisscrossed, and it was like that's how the Torah, not the Bible, the Torah defines miracle. Miracles when things invert, and it happens very quickly. Redemption happens very quickly. That's why when Willie's campaign opens, I want you. Firstly, what's your goal?
It's set for £800, which is just over $1,000.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, let's smash that right through that tonight. I mean, absolutely. Yes. That's four of those boxes. 4 of those boxes.
Go.
Smash it right tonight. Okay.
Yeah. There are cheaper options for everybody.
There are cheaper. Yes.
It's also that the comics are A4 size, so they are. I mean, they're quite large. They're like magazine size. They're not like
they're really like
American comic size.
Yeah.
And the third one is going to be like a perfect bound, like a graphic novel. So.
Oh, really? That's very cool.
Because it's 52 pages. It's 52 pages. But you never know. It might increase in size as the campaign goes on, depending on what happens.
You hit some of those stretch goals. You never know what could happen. How long's the campaign running for?
It's running for 30 days.
I'm going to talk to Ryan about this as well. I'm thinking I'm going for 30 days. It seems to be you have your beginning and the end, and then you're punting in the middle, right?
Yeah. You always have the option to go to 60 anyway. And then
exactly. You also have the store as well, the in-demand store. Right. How long is your campaign running for?
We're running for 30, but we're getting close to the end because we're doing a bigger campaign.
That's an exciting bit. Okay. Right, we're going to concentrate you in a minute. I'm going to go up with the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to have to dive off soon. I'll just quickly show you one of my stretch goals, if you don't mind, and then I'll head off because that was one of my stretch. The first stretch goal that's up there is when I get to 2,000. See how optimistic I am. When I get to 2,000, everybody gets a print of the Tatty Bogle Man Wants You. So you get a print of that, so you can stick that in your fear box if you're one of the people who bought the fear box. I don't quite know exactly what the target's going to be, but my next stretch goal was going to be a print by Statistical Zero, who pops up in the chat every now and then. He does a show with me every Thursday night. We kind of talk about movies. If I'm going to be really busy because I'm doing Charlie's show to launch after this, I'm going to be interviewed by Statistical Zero. Statistical Zero, we're going to go through all the Halloween movies.
Yeah. Ryan, how was your first 72 hours of your campaign?
Those were our biggest. We had they go like it's constant, right? It was going so fast. I thought we were going all the way to 100 grand the first day. No, it was
campaign in a minute. Okay, I'm looking at your campaign in a minute.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, anyways.
Right. Well, I've got to dive off,
it did have a
guys.
spike in the beginning, though. That part I'm not kidding about. There was a spike.
Sure. The beginning, tops and tails, baby, tops and tails. That's where
it kind of happens. Yeah, that happened in my first campaign.
But again, Smash it like you only got that cover tonight. That cover is freaking awesome.
Yeah. So if you want the 24-hour Tatty Bogleman takes over cover, he's cover girl for one night only.
That's so cool. Freaking cool. I love it.
And if you do go for that, remember you can still get the first 2 issues as an add-on, and it works out the exact same price for anybody who goes for the featured tier if you do it that way.
Nice.
Cool.
Fantastic.
And
great idea.
I'll print.
It's a good idea.
Thank you. Yeah, there'll be a case of I'll be inside or in the back. I'll have the original cover printed as well, so everybody kind of gets the original cover too. So.
Very good. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. You can't say further than that.
So well, thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure, Rabbi. And I might, if you don't mind, I might pop on at some point next week and have a wee chat with you.
Okay, fine. Listen, again, if you want to duck back in like an hour or so once you're launched, or just say hi, remind me.
Cool. If I can do that, me and Statistical Zero are going to go through every one of the Halloween movies tonight, so that could go on for hours.
You'll get a bit like, oh god, you wish you wouldn't after like the third one, wouldn't you? Where'd they get crap, the Halloween movies? It's like the third one.
The third one's brilliant. I love the third one. Yeah.
Really?
You're going to have to come over to us and we can argue about it. I love the third one.
I'll have to rewatch them. How many have there been?
142, I think. At least that's what it felt like after I watched them. No, there's been 7 official ones. 8 official ones, I think it was. 9 if you count the director's cut of The Curse of Michael Myers. Then there was the 2 Rob Zombie ones, and there's the new one. Mm-hmm. They are all over the place. They keep restarting and doing reboots, and they're very confusing. Mm-hmm. But that's what's going to make it interesting to talk about, I think. I hope.
All right, very cool, very cool. Who else we got in the chat? We got Tommy Vance. We got Tom Bates. Is that really Tom Vance? Who knows? Never mind. Doesn't matter. If there's any trouble in the chat, I'm sure the mods will take care of everything. Okay, listen again. You got start launching in like an hour from now.
Launching in an hour, less than an hour with Charlie's London. Yep, because I did the one shot for her, Charlie Chaplin, so it felt just right that she asked me to come on her show to launch.
Listen, by the time I wrap up this show, they're just going to be building up steam. Okay, I'll warm them up for you.
Thank you very much, man. You're a good man.
Right.
Okay, thanks, guys. Cheers, Ryan. We'll talk to you more sometime. See you, bye.
There you go. It's like it's awkward. Do you hang up for him? Do you not? I don't know. What do you do? Like bye then.
You have to have a sign off and like a lever. You can be like, hey, good seeing you.
Social awkwardness is my is our catchphrase. Is that Chris Persia's here. How you doing, Chris? Thank you for coming back. What was I going to say? So Ryan, okay, let me pull up your campaign. Let me find your campaign. It's Hammerella. That's correct, right?
I think that's what I'm calling it, and I think I think so.
Fine. So listen, look, while I'm searching for this on Indiegogo, hello, nice to meet you. So look, tell me whereabouts are you from? Where do you live? We'll start with that, and then we'll go back into the dim dark past that is Brian.
Well, I am California born and raised.
I was going to say you look very East Coasty to me. I'm surprised. You look very East Coasty. But I stand corrected.
I try to appear international in all my public appearances, for I'm a man of the people of the entire world, and want to be represented.
Very good. Let me tell you.
I should have stuck with that because otherwise it's more of I don't know. I fell into this. I don't know how. I don't know.
Fine. So listen. You're in California, right?
Correct.
You are? Oh man, so it's really early for you. What time is it?
It's not so bad. It's 10:40 in the morning.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, I work late at night, but it's not so early. This is usually when I get up, so I'm
we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. So listen, obviously you like comics. You like a bit of comics, right? I would assume. You like a bit of comics?
I love comics.
I love it.
love
So
them.
at the start, how do you end up loving comics?
That I blame on my grandmother. As a very small kid, I must have been 3 or 4 when she started. We started taking little road trips up and down the coast of California, and like many kids, it was read this, shut up and read this. Stop talking to me and read this comic. The sing-along's fun for a while, but now read a comic.
I got to tell you, I had exactly the opposite experience. My parents, one time we went on this big trip to America, right? I was like 7, so it must have been 78. It was like a year after Star Wars came out. It was like 78, and they were driving down the coast of the California somewhere, and I wanted to read issue 4 of Watchmen, right? I just want let me read it. They wanted me to look around at the site. I'm like, no, I just want to read issue 4 of Watchmen. It's a Dr. Manhattan issue. Leave it. No, I have to look around. I got in trouble because I was reading it. So we had exactly the opposite experience. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. So I started off like it was Marvel Comics, like Avengers.
Like what era are we talking about? What years?
We are talking the I forget who was writing it right now, but it was Gene Cole and art for sure. That was
okay.
I kept those same issues for a while. What's that?
This is like early 80s.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was labeling the era, not giving it a date. Yes, this would be early eras.
Like that was very risky for me. Let me tell you.
So yeah, this would have been starting around 1980. Yeah, when I was about 3.
Right.
And she got me into those. And the fun thing about her was she was teaching me how to read with them, but she would make up her own character names. So I always remembered that Luke Cage, she called him Macho Man. She was like, "Oh, this Macho Man, he's so macho." And then I got older and started reading, and I was like, "His name, Macho Man? What?"
Yeah, right. Do you have kids?
I don't.
Okay, so listen. Here's the thing they don't tell you about having kids. It's really boring. Okay, it's not magical. It's boring. It goes on forever. You're reading these stupid stories. You can't stand it. I would always just make up the stories as well. I was like, there it is. And I had a whole series of books, each one on a different letter, right? Like this is little A, and a little kid with an A on it. Little A has a box. Little A gets the box, and he puts all these things with A in it, right? And then for some weird reason, Jay was a black kid with a big afro, right? And I was like, what? Am I supposed to do this in the Fat Willy voice? It's like, that's how it felt. It was really weird. So I did sometimes. I did. Fortunately, my children didn't know what I was doing, and they just thought that was the right voice for it.
It's almost like the book put you on the spot there for a minute.
It did.
Like, oh,
it did. Hey. I was like, really? Little Jay. Little Jay. I was like, okay, little Jay's going to, just go deliver some crack and take care of it. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
No problem. Yeah, so that's where it all started for me, and it was pretty constant until the 90s. Like a lot of people, I took a little break in the 90s after getting a little burnt out on the hyper push of everything. But then, like many, it was, you take that little break and then you start getting that itch.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much it means to you.
So, like, what's put in your a few of your top comics of all time?
Let's see.
Other than your
comics of all time. Yeah, other than wait, let me see what friends of mine are in the chat really quick. Make sure I say their books. Okay. All time. Let's see.
You got no friends. Okay, they all deserted you. No one's here. You're on your own.
That's why I have my fake comics. So,
How you doing? Sorry, carry on.
No problem. I think I'm a sucker for Next Wave. It was a book that I didn't ever label as a favorite of mine that came out, I think, like 2012 at Marvel. And it was it's a parody book. Not sure if you're familiar. It's a 12-issue. It's a 12-issue run that Marvel did that has the Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel as their leader. It has Machine Man. It's got Boom Boom. It's
Oh,
got
right,
other-
yeah. So not a book I would ever read.
At first I thought, because it seemed like a parody, and I have a great sense of humor and I like comedies. A parody comic book just didn't seem like something I was gonna really like. And then what Warren Ellis and Stuart Amonin did with it visually encapsulated everything I'd always loved about Silver Age.
That sounds pretty cool. You just talked me into it. Now it's a Warren Ellis book, Imogen. I like they. What else? They came off doing Ultimate Fantastic Four, didn't they?
Yeah, they had been.
Yeah, and then
done
that was great. That was a freaking awesome run. 1 second, Todd's Truth. How you doing, Todd? We need to talk about things you can watch. Things you can watch. Remind me if you're still around afterwards. Todd wants a recommendation of things he can watch. Father Chris and Miller, how are you doing? I missed you last night. It was so sad you weren't with us for our Star Wars watch along. We did a Star Wars watch along last night. It was really nice. So anyway, yeah. So like, who are your name one of your favorite creators?
Well, God, it seems like such an obvious answer to say Art Adams, but he's been such a major influence on me.
Not obvious at all. No, it's not obvious at all. And it's like naming your favorite Muppet. It gives you an idea who you are. Fine. Let me pull up your account. So, how did you become move into creating comics? How did this happen?
So I come from a creative family. Everyone's always been artistic or into photography. My grandpa was a photographer, my dad as well, and we've always had the family runs sign shops, so we've just always had the creative stuff around. And as a kid, like when my grandma gave me the comics, I immediately started copying images, or so they've told me, and they show you the little drawings and stuff. I don't remember any of this, but I just started copying the superheroes, and at around 11 or 12, I started actually putting together my own like panel to panel pages and trying.
Kind of the same with me, right? Because I started in England. We had this comic called 2000 AD, which is like an anthology, weekly anthology, still going, still very good. And I started like copying like Robo Hunter and characters from that. But yeah, pretty much the same thing with me. Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
No, it's always funny that. Oh no, that's it's funny that so many of us have those stories, because it was like the perfect age for those things. Like 3 or 4, you pop that into a kid's head, and it just starts
exactly.
bubbling and percolating the ideas and things you can do. And then by 10, when you've got a little more control, you could be like, hey, I want to make this.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so how do you start professionally making comics?
Professionally, I was in my early 20s, and I kind of decided that that's what I wanted to do. And I was working at a local art store, and a inker named Danny Mickey, who is currently over at DC, he came in, and he was looking for assistance, and we started talking, and one thing led to another of me just doing samples for months and months and months, and then finally
patience is the most important thing, right?
Oh, absolutely just in life in general.
I agree. I do agree.
Where nowadays, I like to think
I hate to be the guy who's like kids today, but like, if they can't get it instantly, and if you don't have it instantly, they're like, ew, what a loser. Like, no, the struggle is freaking point of life, imbeciles.
No, exactly.
And you want to hit the goals, but like, that's the struggle's what makes you.
And as I get older, it gets, I don't want to say easier, but it does in a way. It gets easier to know that, this calls for patience. I see. This calls for me to not be angry and responsive. This calls for me to see this through. And when I'm dealing with younger creatives, they don't often see that.
No. They don't. It's like, listen. No, you don't. You do not know how much work it takes to get anything at all. The amount of work you have to do is mind-boggling. Derek Manners, how you doing, mate? So anyway, so what was your So you end up being his assistant. So what happened next?
Spent years and years doing that. He formed a studio called Crime Lab Studios, and we worked.
I heard
on
of it. I did hear of that. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
it was. We were credited as that eventually in the books, but for years the companies didn't want to credit studios. They just wanted the one name. Just give us one name to pay and blame. We don't want a team of people. And but eventually they gave in or acquiesced or softened up or decided it was the right thing, however they want to label it.
Right.
And they started labeling Crime Lab Studios as our group. Todd McFarlane always did. I will say that on Spawn from day one, Todd was like, list all the boys. Let's do it. So we'd all get credit.
He seems to be a very, I wouldn't cross him, but he seems to be a pretty stand-up guy, Todd McFarlane, right? He seems to be like pretty straight shooter.
Without getting too inside baseball or too personal, that's how most of those guys are. Most of the experience I've had with the top dogs or the elder statesmen, it's don't cross them. But if you're running parallel and you're running hard, they might throw a bone. They might show you that respect, Yeah. But don't ever cross these guys.
Yeah, because they'll kill you. Why? Because they're bigger and stronger than you. That's why. Because they've been around.
And even just you could be there and they can just use their power to forget about you. It doesn't even have to be a squashing thing. It's and you see a lot of egos. They come in and they flash their ego and then they just get forgotten. It's not even stepped on. They're just like, no, you're not. That's not what we want.
So is this book? Are you writing? You drawing it? Doing both? What's the deal with it?
So independently, I was doing everything because the goal for me was always independent comics. My big lofty dream was to work my way up to be an editor at Marvel Comics and build a name for myself, and then go start my own company. It was sort of that image.
You're about 10 years. You missed that by 10 years. Right, that's exactly what happened. By the way, I love this packet. I love the cover for this and the design.
Thank you.
It's really nice, really striking.
Thank you so much.
This will leap out at you on a shelf, right?
That's what I want. I want it to. It's hard to make things stand out, and sometimes it's about how much can you put on the cover. But I feel like lately people have been doing that, so I was like, how can I simplify but still make it striking, like still have and I literally went like this. I was like, draw you in. How can I draw you in? And I was like, oh wait, so I could have this black smoke draw you in. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's exactly what it does. And I do like, it's not Kirby-esque, but I like the circle around the hammer. That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely a Kirby fan, and I'm definitely a Walt Simonson fan.
Yes, now you say it. I could so see it. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
To the point where I will not look at a Walt book for a year or so, or I'm working on a project and I'm not looking at his work, and it still comes out.
Right. I'm sorry, my computer's got caught doing something. So I got the little whizzy wheel thing, so I can't. So I can't scroll. Hey, but please keep doing. But I love the smoke.
Yeah, and
Simonson.
So my two most obvious influences are probably Walt Simonson and Art Adams. So you're going to see a lot of that in this book.
Oh wait! This is your book, God and Gears. I've heard good things about it. It's like a solid superhero, right? It's like all ages.
Sort of. All ages. It's superhero-esque, and it plays to that on purpose because it's not actually a superhero thing, but we take a lot of tropes, we take a lot of visual tropes and things from our favorite comic.
Like you read in comic in 1972.
Exactly, and that's exactly the goal, like that 70s to 80s era.
Fingers.
Exactly, and this I only wrote though. I'm the writer of Gods and Gears, and but on Hammerella I'm doing the art and the story.
I tell you, listen, we have to work this out sometimes. I was doing this show. I'm taking a break from it for a few weeks. So I got to work out how to like get more people watching it. But I was doing 2 game shows, right? One game show was like that one's certainly coming back. It was like 2 panels of 2 people and a quiz master, and it's like like a normal game show, like a panel show. But the other one was a comic book show. It was like the big comic book pitch, and what it was, you had 3 rounds. Round 1, you had the chat would give you a genre and an age range, and you had to pitch something on the spot to that. Like an editor says, I need sci-fi for 14-year-olds, right? And you got to come up, you got to pitch something on the spot. Next thing is you got given an existing character that you had to take over. You had to work it. You could either do a graphic novel or one shot, or give a year plan of like what you would do. And round 3 was you had an existing universe, and you had to do an original thing within that universe.
That's really fun.
I'd love to get you on that. You'll be great at that.
Yeah, I'm 100% down for that. I love game shows. I've been trying to think of my own for my own channel, things like that. I won't steal that.
By the way,
I like that.
Ryan's channel is in the chat. Please, not in the chat, in the notes. Please go and sub to him. And of course, click through to his campaign. How much longer it hasn't got long to go now, has it?
We got 1 more day left. We got 40-some hours left to go.
I wasn't urgent enough. Click through to his campaign quickly. Fine. So listen, what do they get? What do they get? I'm sorry. I thought we had weeks. I was like the springtime for no. Okay, fine. We gotta go. Fine. So what's in the campaign? So what do you get? You get
we have all kinds of stuff. I answer the question. I answered to the people. So we have all kinds of stuff. Our featured perk is basically everything. It's the Slammin' Hammerella set. It's got the book. It's got the Gods of Gears issues. It's got an original print.
Let me find this campaign. One.
There you go. There it is.
What's it got in it again?
It's got the Hammerella book.
First thing. The book, the Hammerella book. How big is it?
It's going to be, I say 48 pages. It's probably going to be a few more. I put that as a stretch goal, but I'm already starting to play with that. But we're going to say 48 plus pages of full color action. It's going to be perfect bound on 60-pound uncoated paper, so it's going to look really sharp. It's not on newsprint. I love my newsprint. I love it. But this is going to be more of a... This is not. This is going to be the premium edition of this story.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So who's doing your printing?
We have a couple different people we're looking at. We go through. I've gotten suggestions from various people, and we've priced some people through like Peter Sametti's companies that he's used. Right. And I'm also in talks with like Comics Wellspring. So I've got a couple prices that I'm working. I'm basically working the prices, trying to get them down a little bit more. Right.
Okay, because listen,
go ahead.
Yes, this is what I'm trying to do. I got a campaign coming up. Sign up starts in about less than a week, right? I'm moving forward to it. But it'll start in like a month or so, whatever. Okay. But I got a lot of my audiences in England, a lot of my audiences in America. So what I want to do is find I want to fulfill it. Basically, I want to have like the fulfillment done from the States, but I have a bulk shipment of it sent to England and a fulfillment center there. Or ideally, I think Maxim, they have fulfillment centers everywhere. That would be my goal. But do you know anybody like that?
I have heard people trying to do solutions like that. I haven't actually talked to anyone that's gone through it.
Because like that international shipping is a killer. Goes from $10 to $30. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, I know Peter at Alternative was trying to look into something like that so that he could find, and he's done it with a couple shops, I think, in certain places where it's like they're sort of a hub where they'll order a huge amount.
Right. I should totally talk to him. Everything. I've never met him. Everything I've heard about him, I go, well, that's clever. Everything I go, well, that's very. Everything I hear is like, oh, well, that's very clever. I like everything he's doing. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, tell me what's the story? It feels very like Thor-ish.
That's something I realized even these last few days, and if we have to expand the campaign, I'm going to expand my sort of definitions on who Hammerella is and what she's all about, because it's not actually Thor based at all. She's not a Thor analog. The hammer is not a Thor analog to Mjolnir at all. It just visually.
You got the Walt Simonson thing going on, and a hammer.
Exactly.
Well, and she's got like the cape and the thing. It's like, what's the guy gonna think?
The first, exactly. So it's not. I don't blame the audience for that at all. It's one of those things where you're like, hey, I've been influenced by this thing, and I found my way over here with it. But you don't realize that your influence still looks very obvious and on the nose.
Right. So the great thing about Comicsgate comics is that they drip with love of the creator, right? Every Comicsgate book, because it does, every Comicsgate book drips with love of the creator's love of comics, right? And so that's part of your love, and it's like, you can't be authentic and do this without that. So what's the basic idea of it?
It is that you throw it up. So anyways, she is a strange being. She's like an alien being. She's half witch. She is half demigod. And she has been stranded on this horrific, hellish planet since childhood. Now she's going to find a strange mentor in a beast that lives on that planet. And she's going to eventually escape this planet and find herself in the midst of a galactic war. And that's the first time she meets other people. So we're going to sort of cross that adventure.
Oh, that's a lot to take in. Let me just think for a second. One second. I'm just going to quickly say hello. Rabbi Backhofer, how are you?
It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here. Look, you can stay here, and we're going to be talking about this gentleman's comic book for a little bit, like a few minutes. He's only got 1 day left on his campaign. I would love everybody to click through and buy themselves a copy. This set, by the way, I would say, listen, if you want to make an investment. This is the sort of set I think you could you have one to read, but you could also you only get one with this book, right? You can add another book as an add-on, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah, we've got all the add-ons.
Always add yourself a second book because you're going to want to keep one. This is the beginning. This is if you could go back in time and you can tell the people in the golden age of comics. These throwaway comics that they think have no value is going to be worth $1 billion, 50 years from now. This time in comics is incredible. There's many first run comics you can get and you can bag and you can board. I think 10, 20 years from now, you're going to do well with it. That would be my financial advice. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am Jewish. So, what did Jews do you wrong? Would you? Listen, don't think about Shylock. We're not like that anymore. We're nice now. We just want to do your taxes, okay? We don't want any trouble, okay? That's all.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead, Rabbi Backhofer.
No, I'm just curious. The Hammerella. If someone would ask you what differentiates her from Thor. Also,
about that. She's totally different. This is it's more of a sci-fi thing.
Yeah, it's not based on the Norse mythology at all. It's not actually based on anything from the Marvel Comics thing. It was one of those things. Actually, a friend and I we realized we traced it back to being inspired by Walt Simonson and Art Adams, what was it, the cover they did? Or maybe it was Art Adams and Terry Austin did that X-Men annual where...
I know exactly the cover you're talking about. I know
exactly.
Where
Aurora gets the hammer.
It's a great cover. Let me explain it. Basically, he really likes this artist, Walt Simonson. It's and so that's the kind of feel he was going for. Like the Smokey did it is just like how that artist would do it. And he's got that line where he'd really captured him. And that's why, and he's very famous for doing Thor. And they got a bloody hammer. What's a person to think? There you go. So
exactly,
it's nothing to do with Norse mythology. It sounds like an insane sci-fi, mind-blowing, space opera. Would you describe it that way?
That's actually from now on. That's exactly how I'm going to describe it.
There you go. You're welcome. Are there any interior pages to look at in the campaign?
There are. I have more that are coming any day now. We had big fires here, so I got totally thrown
Oh,
off
here we
this
go.
week.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Look at that. This is
there
great.
are bigger versions. You can scroll down and see bigger versions of those pages.
Okay, fine.
I think it says the art tells the story.
Nice. You know, because I really like sci-fi comics. I like sci-fi in general. You go what
trading cards.
Trading cards.
Every 50 backers, I release a new trading card.
Okay, how many we got so far?
We have got 4 because we've got over 200 backers.
Okay, listen. You want to make it up to 5 or 6, right? Yeah, tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
5 or 6 tonight. That'd be awesome. That would be fantastic.
And there's a couple more interior pages.
You did everything. You did the pencils, the colors, the inks, everything on this book, right?
And the letters, yes.
And the letters. Yeah. Again, listen. That you are not working for that. That DC and Marvel are not begging you to work for them. Shows you what a terrible state the industry is in. Because this is actually also, entertaining comics.
I walked away from DC happily, so
there you go.
I don't want them calling.
But you know what? It's like that they're not desirable. It's like what is that? Oh yeah, you know what has the world come to? This is great. This is so much fun. I love this stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, and I do like to make things like I do enjoy that people a little bit that people think it's maybe a Thor analogy and then find out that it's not. But I also I want to make sure to bridge that idea in the promotion. You know, I need to like let them think that for a second. I don't want them to have to buy the book to find out or to ignore the book if they think
okay, you know what? Okay, she's got to be in some outer space scene, clearly showing it's sci-fi, right? And that would I love this page. I really do enjoy this page.
Thank you. And that's directly influenced from that.
Is this a print or a cover?
Those are prints.
Very nice. I like that print. I do like that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the one that comes in the Slammin' Hammerella featured perk. It's
let's go back to that one. This is the one you want, the Slammin' Hammerella. Fine. So you get this book, freaking awesome book, right? And it's signed?
It's everything's signed.
Okay, incredible book signed. You get the print. So that's the hammer print?
Yes, that's the hammer. She's charging up and
getting
ready for battle.
That is how big is that print?
Everything's going to be comic book size, so roughly 7 by 10. That way we can ship them all packaged together.
It'll look cool. You get you want two button pack. I like that too. That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm a button fan, and our readers turned out to be too. So luckily that worked out.
Everybody loves buttons, baby. Everybody loves buttons. You can't go wrong with a bit of buttons.
Absolutely
okay,
not.
And then you get the boy. Can we see the buttons here? Is there any? Are they on the?
They are. It's small.
I could they're just here, right? I can't really.
Yeah, and I don't want you to have to click through to the add-ons because they are in the add-ons.
Yeah, forget it. Okay, fine. But that's very cool. I like the buttons.
But they're super awesome. They're the best buttons ever. They're super awesome. They're the best buttons ever. They never fall off or anything.
Okay, that's it's just as we would expect. Only the finest quality. Never mind the quality, fill the width. That's what we say here. So then you get the 4 stickers as well. I like the stickers. I wouldn't put them on anything, but I like that you're giving them. You got the logo, which I like the logo. I don't know what the keys mean, but I'm eager to find out.
Oh, we have a keychain there as well. So the keys just go along with the keychain.
Fine. So what's in the sticker pack?
So sticker pack's got a logo pack and it's got a headshot of her, like a fun headshot that we have that's die cut.
Right.
I asked a few of the inside fans which ones they wanted, and I let them vote for which stickers would be represented.
Right. Cool. Okay. Yeah. And then you get the Gods and Gear. Oh, you get the full bundle of 4, right?
That's right. And those are the Alterna Comics issues on newsprint. And that's they say limited series, but we are an ongoing series now.
Right. Very nice. Listen, that's totally the to go for. If they just want the book, how much is the book on its own? It's like $10. That's only $10. Oh, it's digital.
$10 for the digital. It's 20 for the original. And again, that's signed, perfect.
Get yourself a gift card while you're doing it.
That's right.
Tell you what, yeah, that'd be.
And I didn't think about the 2-book deal. What you were saying about that is so true, because I operate like that too. When I find a campaign or even just an indie creator selling their book, I will often buy 2 or 3 copies of that first book. Maybe not even for the financial investment, more maybe sometimes just I want to be able to share this with other people or something like that.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
So that's something I need to consider, is a 2-book deal.
You know what? Okay, listen. I don't know. I would either go for 2 books and a sketch card, or the slamming. I don't know. Ooh, I do like it. It's a good. I don't know. Okay, fine. You got all kinds of cool stuff here. Rumble Bundle. I like this. Yeah. The hat. What's this one? You get. So this is for retailers, right?
It can be for retailers, or I've had a handful of readers buy it who just want to use it as part of their comic display in their room.
That'd be really cool. I wouldn't mind that. Here's the trouble: too many things I want.
Try to make it fun for people.
What was that?
We try to make it fun for people. It's hard to come up with totally unique ideas.
Oh, this is cool, by the way. Is this just the case, right? And then you put all the stuff in it.
Correct. Yes, that is a collector case. We do have. There are some. It does come with stuff. It's not empty. Here,
but like it's custom drawn. That's very nice. That's a very, very nice perk.
And those are the same collector case that Peter has for Alterna. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I stepped on there. I'm sorry.
Oh, please don't worry. But I didn't think of worth. I wouldn't be on my own. Robert Payne, how you doing? Fine. Listen, I'm going to ask everybody. To go over to Ryan's. Well, first it's his channel. Sub to his channel. Go. You have a YouTube channel. Go follow him on Twitter. But click through. You got 24 hours. You got how much? Is it less than 24 hours?
I think we got a little more than that here. Let me scroll back up. We're still 38 hours.
Yeah, go do it now because you'll forget. Click through, do it now, and also things. It gets crazy in the last 24 hours. You don't want to get your server gummed up, right? You want to click through now and buy the book. That's what I would recommend. Very good. Here, one second. I'm just going to here. Let me show you the top of the campaign again, so you got to the right place. Fine. Ryan, I got to boot you because we got to talk politics. I've been promised to talk politics, and I'm only 12 minutes late. Rabbi Beckel, we're doing good. I'm only 12 minutes late.
Okay.
I cannot imagine with you living on the West Coast, I don't think Rabbi Beckel would not make your head explode in rage, okay? And I would not like to do that. Listen, vive la différence, baby. I think we're all good to live together.
I appreciate that. any well-wishing or recognizing of the concern is much appreciated.
There you go. Here, listen, before we go, let me show you. I just finished this yesterday. It's the cover. This is going to be for one of the books I got going on my campaign. I just finished this yesterday, so I'm quite excited. Ta-da.
Excellent. You did all this art?
Yeah. And actually, the stacking covers is the bookcases right behind me right now. So you take pictures of and use that.
Excellent.
So there you go. But it's much more exciting. But I can't show them now because Rabbi Bekov is here. If you sign up for the mailing list on the campaign, you get with any purchase. I'm doing a series of 4 cards called For the Male Gaze. For the Male Gaze, they are kind of burlesque interpretations of British science fiction. So they're a bit risque, but I would say they're not PG-13, but they're not X-rated. They are very. I would say they would be fine in a 1960s movie. We would be good. So that's the kind of level we're talking about. Fine. So Ryan, I wish you nothing but success. Please come back. Let us know how you do. If you want to come back. Because I'm offline for the Sabbath from tomorrow night. I'm offline so I'll be offline by the time you finish. But please come back. We will talk comics more.
I would love to.
anything else. By the way, is that original art behind you? Is that available in any of the tiers?
It's not, but everyone's been asking all week, and I was thinking maybe today, the last day or something, I should throw it up there as something.
I think you should, mate. I think you should. What's your campaign at right now?
We are at just over 71% of it. We're at 72%, and it looks like we got 2 backers while we were on here. So
there you go. Thank you, everybody.
I know one was Lonnie. I want to throw out a thank you to Lonnie, and I'm going to keep my eye out for his campaign as well.
Right. So you gotta make another about $3,500, right?
That's right.
Okay. So listen, I would like for you to pop through that when you got 24 hours to go, and that last 24 hours you double. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great. I'm going to be pushing super hard for that kind of stuff. So
okay, listen, I wish you nothing but the best. But I'm going to ask you, you got to run. Don't stay around here. We are going to be talking heresy. Pull your headphones off.
All right. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Thank you, other Rabbi. Nice to meet you.
There you go.
I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Have a great time.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. So what they don't know is that you're people think I'm the real rabbi. People don't know that you're actually the real rabbi. I'm just a pretend one. If I'm a rabbi, I've been defrocked thoroughly, and I probably.
Oh, you're the first guy I gave ordination to on a bunker bagel napkin. Do you still have it?
I have that. I have the one also Rabbi Orwick wrote out for me. Therefore, a cookie. Remember?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that I blackmailing with for quite a lot of money, I think. Matt Jones, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Lee Anthony Davis, welcome. Been here. Settlers Derek Manas and Christine Werner. So, Rabbi Berghofer, what's going on in the world? What's happening?
Well, we have the greatest election in our lifetime and in quite a few generations coming up on Tuesday.
So, what would you say is the first? I'm going to let you. Let's say, what would we say was one of the top issues that people should be concerned about, and why? Because and imagine you're talking to an ignoramus because you are. Right.
Okay.
By the way, just before you start, Rabbi Berkowitz' channel is in the video notes. Please click over there and subscribe to his channel. Often, you've got to get you doing more, but great content when you throw it up, and also his website's there. If you are anybody of a deeply intellectual mindset, he just released a very good book about the holy month of Tishrei. If you would like to astound your friends with your knowledge of arcane and really intense Jewish law and original thought, you click through and buy it now, baby. Click through and buy it now. Good gee. I feel like I'm the Home Shopping Network tonight.
Yeah.
So yes, what would you say one of the issues that that one should be concerned with?
Well, let's speak very generally in order to answer that. And until 2016, to me, politics could be summed up with just the following 2 sentences: don't vote for him; he's a thief. Vote for me so I could steal your money. Right? That would be the whole. That until 2016, I believe that's all there is to politics, nothing more. Right? It's just choosing the style of he who will just rip you off. Right? Do you want to be ripped off by this guy, or do you want to be ripped off by that guy?
Right? I have to say, I think the answer to that question is whoever does it more gracefully, more charmingly. I always liked that about Clinton. He always made you feel good about yourself as he was bending you over and using you as a cigar holder.
Although I wouldn't use these colorful metaphors, but something has changed, and interestingly enough, through the least likely person of Donald Trump. That's
true. I have to tell you, this is why I think I really truly believe Donald Trump to be the Messiah of the nation of Edom, which I can't remember where I first heard that. Maybe Rabbi. I can't remember his name. He's got a YouTube channel because
Kesson, I think you're referring to Rabbi Kesson.
That's the one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm of the opinion that there is like a negative force in the world that we call the Satan, the devil, and he's always looking out to stop things happening, right? So if he sees like a nice, clean guy, there's no problems with him. There's very well articulate, well spoken, and the devil's gonna be like, I better keep an eye on this guy. This guy could be trouble. If he sees a dirty, kind of like sleazy guy, he's like, this guy doesn't need my attention at all. He is cool. He is good to go. And that's why that's one of the reasons I think that Donald is the Messiah of the nation of Edom. That's one of my.
Meaning you're saying that he slipped under the Satan's radar.
Exactly. Again, the Satan's looking for saintly people. He's not looking for the Donald, is he? The Satan probably has the same reaction as we did. We were like, really? Him?
Right. No, I mean, no, absolutely, and this concept does exist in Jewish philosophy. And this explains how some of the stories that build the House of David came through these as it were, what would seem on the superficial level as compromised situations. Whether what happened with Judah and his daughter-in-law, what happened with David and Bathsheba, et cetera, et cetera.
Rebecca, I need to be a little bit less vague, but please let me take this. Okay, 1 second. I think I can balance your needs and the audience needs. Okay, David and Bathsheba, and who was the other example you gave?
Judah and Tamar, his daughter-in-law.
By the way, one of my favorite stories, a really crazy one, which I will tell you about in more detail at another time. Not you, Rabbi, back over the chat. But both of them involve illicit sexual relations that one would think is completely verboten, and yet both of them, for differing reasons, was worked out okay in the end. I think is the way you can describe that. Would that be a fair description?
Well, but it's one worked out okay. Aside from attaining atonement from those unions, came the House of David, which ultimately leads them to the Messiah. And the explanation is that sometimes things have to get a little bit dirty to get under Satan's radar. Is actually an explanation that's offered.
Yeah. By the way, did you know today is a day of I think today has to be some kind of I don't know, like Yom Simcha. One of the great enemies of the Jewish people was vanquished today, much like Haman before him. But unfortunately, not hung out quite literally. Jeremy Corbyn has been ousted from the Labour Party over anti-Semitism. The EHRH, the European Human Rights Court, found the Labour Party guilty of anti-Semitism, as we've been telling them for quite some time. The leader of the Labour Party, he's now been expelled from it as he's brought the party into significant disrepute. This is, it's impossible for somebody who believes in God to not see God's hand in this. Quite joyous. So it's not often. Listen, most of the time, this is the rule of life. Most of the time, things are awful. Most of the time, expect things to be terrible and nothing to go right. And if you're not being raped by Cossacks, it's a good day. It's a good day. No Cossacks raped me today or hacked a limb off me for food. So it's a good day. See, that's the normal thing. But sometimes things happen that you go, wow, that's actually good news. That's actually I'm quite happy about. So so we see divine judgment raining down upon Jeremy Corbyn. Now, I just wanted to remind everybody in the chat, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, if you have not yet subscribed to it, you may be wondering, what can I get for subscribing? Other than entering my weekly competitions, the prize this week, Robots of Death. Robots of Death, fantastic story, terrible cover. That's why you also get the fan cover as well, right? That's what you get to. But not only that. It is said of Abraham, those who bless him themselves were blessed. Those who bless him themselves were blessed. So just to say, you hit that subscribe button. I don't think I don't think there's any force in the world that can stop the infinite blessings raining down upon your head. That's what I would recommend to you. And that's just because I love you, the chat, so much. You should hit the subscribe button. Obviously, if you're not subscribed. If you're subscribed, stay away from the subscribe button. That would be bad. Terry, sorry, that was an aside. So anyway, you were saying what are the things that one should be concerned about?
Well, so I'm just saying that Donald Trump there was the least likely, but he got under, as you say, the Satan's radar, and he's no other way to explain that, in a manner which I never thought. I know I grew up in America. I grew up on Donald Trump. Remember, from the 80s, followed him. I would have never even believed that he's a conservative. And here he is, being the champion of conservative values, biblical values.
But isn't that strange? 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Politics is no longer, he will steal your money, vote for me so I can steal your money. And he's not taking money from the Americans. He doesn't even take a salary. Politics has changed. It's right now, as it were, if politics is, a bunch of animals fighting, in America they have the elephant represents the Republican Party and the donkey representing the Democratic Party, and I have a lot to say about that. Well, that's so apropos, right? But now there's something bigger riding on top of these animals that are fighting with each other. Right? There's something much bigger riding and manipulating them from above.
You would have thought the elephant would be able to take the donkey without there being much of a trouble, right? Yeah, it's just what you would have thought.
Except that the donkey fights dirty.
That's true. Donkey does. He goes straight.
Point.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's why. That's exactly what's happening. Fighting dirty.
That's actually a very, very good parable because conservatism. Say what you will about it, right? Whatever you are on the political spectrum, most people are kind of more right wing, right? You have Fox News that has 80-90% of the audience share, and everybody else has that tiny little share. Conservative is just kind of more powerful, popular. I think represented by an elephant. So I guess the donkey does need to fight dirty. You're absolutely right. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Fighting dirty and indeed fighting dirty. So right now it's a real cultural battle that and I think the culture of the United States is going to be set the tone, for the whole world, as the United States is a superpower.
Yeah, it's essentially the only. Yeah, you got the Chinese coming up. It's essentially the only superpower.
Oh, that's the whole thing, and it's the one thing between China and they're dominating the world is the United States.
Yeah, 100%. You are that's it. You are the only thing that holds back China. That 100% correct. So what would you envisage happening by New Year if Joe Biden wins? What would you see would happen?
I mean, God forbid. I mean, first of all, bite your tongue.
No, I think it's very important. Okay, I want
fine. But what will happen is, there'll be a total, he is the Trojan horse, of the left wing, the leftists, and the globalists. I think first and foremost, I think in this one issue, I disagree with the president in the sense that the president speculates that the day after the election, they will end the shutdown, because they'll feel that it already served out its political purpose. I say not. I think they will keep the shutdown going because they're just wearing down the people, keeping them out of real three-dimensional space and forcing them to become cyberspace zombies. Your window to the outside world will be the computer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've never seen a politician give back power willingly. Have you?
No. I mean, so I think they're going to keep the lockdown going, which just wears people down. So people will lose their businesses, and people will feel that socialism is maybe the answer, because the capitalistic economy has been collapsed. When you just wear people down, you get them in this dark and depressed state, which is what Joe Biden did in the last debate. We're headed for a dark winter. We're not living with the virus. We're dying about you. People, you put people in this low mood. In that low mood, people don't think very clearly, don't think for themselves. So you could get them hooked on socialism. You get them to give up on the capitalistic American dream of being a self-made millionaire.
So really, honestly, you think that's the end game with this, to crush the American spirit so they can bring in socialism? It's not crazy. Not crazy, is it? Like I heard weirder things, and there's enough to try.
Listen, you got AOC, you got crazy Bernie Sanders, you got Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, who are saying that very, very vocally. Some Hollywood celebrities who just never really had to make money the hard way ever in their lives. So from their ivory tower also said capitalism has failed the American people. Right? It's pretty transparent. It's just not everybody in the Democratic Party, but it's a very vocal segment.
Because I truly believe if Joe Biden wins, there will be a global financial collapse that we won't recover from. But
the globalists want that. Because if everyone is demoralized, right. So the UN, let's say UN, Soros, whatever, they'll offer a alternate vision of, come work for the collective and we will take care of you. You have everyone right. Also in this down mood, it's easier to tell them what to think and what to do.
So there's a very strong biblical precedent for this, how this would work, how this could work, right? Joseph and the land of Egypt, right? He basically knew about their coming economic apocalypse, right? Their economic doom, and he waited and he manipulated that to bring everybody into complete poverty, and then make them wards of the state, right? They became slaves. They became slaves to because you sold yourself there. Otherwise, you're going to die. There was no food. He had complete control, and that I guess that's the kind of the precedent for this.
Yeah, except that one should at least differentiate that Joseph also. If he wouldn't have acted the way he did, everyone would have indeed starved to death.
That's also true. Absolutely, yeah, that is also true.
So I mean, Now listen, he was doing Paro's bidding. He didn't make them slaves himself. They were all Paro's property, and he was being a faithful second in command, even though he was really running the whole country. He still, gave all the credit to Paro just because he sits on the throne and Joseph doesn't. So there's a little bit of a difference that I think Joseph, he had his loyalties to Paro, which is, just faithfully executing his duties. He did, with Paro's consent, get a sweet deal for his people, the Jewish people. Right? And save them from starving into extinction. There was only 70 people at the time. But nonetheless,
an investment.
Right, that's right. But nonetheless, if it wouldn't be for Joseph, indeed, the world would have gone desolate. Civilization would have collapsed after a 7-year famine. Right. So I'm not giving the Democrats, any type of credit, akin to what Joseph did right. I think they're just focused on, on getting. Not only that, this was said. People like Bill Maher and others, already way before the China virus because it's made in China, right? Way
And
before.
it just seems to be manufactured there, right? It's
Oh
like,
yeah, no, they have
I don't want to think
virologists that escape from there. They have a bounty on their head that say this is not, a virologist once said on Tucker Carlson, imagine you would meet a animal. It has one hand of a monkey, and the other hand is a dog paw, right? And chicken legs and wings of an eagle, right? Nature didn't make such a freak. That thing came from a lab, right? So it's right. So she was saying, if you know anything about viruses, if you know anything about and the genome, this thing, nature doesn't make a monster like this.
Yeah,
this thing was,
and you will notice if you do come across such a being, such a monster, perhaps your first instinct shouldn't be to have sex with it, then eat it, right? Maybe you shouldn't do that because maybe that might be the magic ingredient that could make a global pandemic. I'm just saying that man bat bear creature may be we might be like, well, I've never seen that before, and so I could be the first. I can certainly be the first to do terrible things to that thing and then eat it. I can be the very first to do that. But that indeed may lead to us all having to wear stupid diapers on our freaking face every time we put our face at the freaking door. So I'm just saying, if you have the urge to defile and to then devour any creature, really, it doesn't really need to be a bizarre genetic, any creature. If you want to defile and devour such an animal, please don't restrain the urge. I can say not just one, but two rabbis are urging on that front. Am I right there, Rabbi Berkhoff?
Yes,
you're with me?
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Shouldn't defile and devour. No, that's bad.
No. But way before the China plague came, which was made in China, right? Celebrities were wishing a economic collapse. They were wishing an economic collapse on America. So people should, vote out Trump because people will be miserable, and they'll let it out on him. That's sick. But that just shows that normal, that there's two higher powers, not to equate them, and certainly not morally, let alone one is the real God and the other one is a would-be competitor that God himself created and is just shadow boxing with. But you see that Donald Trump, least likely to be a conservative, right? And stand up for biblical values, at least the way I knew him growing up. And he shocked us all, right? And he's rallied and he's rallied the whole Republican Party, to become crusaders in a good way, right? In a good way, fighting for God and biblical values. Right? Republicans just used to be fat old white men, right? That's what they used to be. Now they're fighters, and they're not just right.
Really turn the party around into they seem to be less insanely corrupt.
Insanely corrupt. They're fighters. Where it's Jim Jordan, Doug Collins, but also we have also black Republicans who are equally there's Tim Scott, right? Great senator, and and there's some great some great African American young Republicans are they have that woman Klasick, and they're young, they're passionate, they're idealistic, right? He transformed the whole party, right? And you have on the other.
So okay, the question I have, why is Trey Gowdy not a special counsel investigating Hillary Clinton? Why is that not happening?
Yeah, well, sadly, I think politics, has machinations of its own. That there are things behind the scenes that we don't know. Look, we don't know, why hasn't the Durham report come out yet? Also, there's
the Durham report?
You don't live in America, but Bill Barr appointed special counsel, I think his name is John Durham, right, to investigate the spying that was done on the Trump campaign, how the whole Russia hoax got started, and only one person was indicted so far. And people don't understand, like, well, what's taking so long? Why is it not happening before the election? Here, now they've got the laptop from hell. You've heard
right? I mean, like this laptop. Oh my god!
Totally verified. Totally verified.
Yeah, it couldn't be any worse, right? It couldn't be any worse,
right? And still, nothing's happening. It seems
it's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is weird. It is weird, and I think the swamp hasn't been totally drained yet. There's things
have been.
What? No. Hope during Trump's second term, he's got to get rid of Christopher Wray. He was not a good replacement, but not a good enough replacement for the dirty cop, Comey. Right? It seems that this woman who's running the CIA is also pretty useless.
Why hasn't Comey gone down yet? Like, I don't understand.
That's right. Well, I mean, listen, we're up against a system that may even be 100 years old or older, right? It's the swamp after all.
I guess so.
Yeah, it is the swamp. What can you do? Listen, Ariel Sharon, right?
The former prime minister of Israel, it's like not a too salubrious character.
All right, listen. So he got, he was in his heyday a very known to be a very decorated general. Did crazy missions. The Arabs were petrified of him. Ariel Sharon, right?
All right.
So now, what? Yeah, well,
know that.
Right. Yeah. No, he was he was a shark. He was a lion. Call him whatever you want. When the Intifada, the uprising broke out in 2000, so he was catapulted into politics because everyone thought, he is the guy that's going to scare the hell out of the Arabs and put them in their place, and the whole thing will calm down, right? And shortly after he got to, he did a few stunts when he got into office, but after that he was commanding us to stand down. Stand down, it's worse than what's happening in Portland, right? Where the police have to stand down, or New York City, the whole country had to stand down, and not respond to attacks.
So I get
right. Now, so listen, I just want to say, and he was confronted, we vote you, and you're the, and you also said the way you were as a general, that's where you're going to be as a prime minister. And he said, I'll first say it in Hebrew. Roim mikan dvarim shelo sham. You see from the prime minister's seat certain things you don't see when you're outside of that seat, when you're on the outside.
Right.
Yeah. So there's something about politics that once people get on the inside, they find their hands tied, or they get these things.
I guess so. Listen, it does happen. So what do you think? I don't know which way it's going to go right now, because on one hand, it seems like Americans don't like their streets being on fire. Let me
tell you something. See, I just thought of something just 2 hours ago. And I want to share it with you and your listeners. But anyone who says it over has to say it over in my name.
Okay,
right? Yes. What is the most confusing thing you can say to an American?
Who are you voting for? I don't know. What?
Go to hell. Right? So you mean Portland? Do you mean Chicago? Do you mean New York City? Which Democratic town do you mean?
Listen, it's a local flight.
Right.
Beforehand, you have to find some kind of interdimensional portal. Now, just have to go to Portland. It's a you can get there by bus.
You have so much to choose from. That's the problem.
Yes, right? Too many options for the fiery pit. The fiery pit there. Wait, what's this here? So, is there a secret to keeping your hat on? Do you use double-sided sticker? With keepers. As you lose your hair, it gets much easier. However, there was a product called Stickums, which was a piece of Velcro you would put inside the scratchy bit of Velcro. It will stick them inside your keeper, and it would fix it to your hair. Never use them. there is a sect, quite a large sect called the Dati Lumi. They have a different type of kippah. The cat is like knitted, like crocheted, and many of those wear hair clips. There you go, hair clips. I do, I do like to keep you guys informed. If you have any questions, happy to answer. So anyway, so I see America. I think it's going two ways. On one side, Americans don't like massive open corruption. They don't like the streets being on fire. They don't like people lying blatantly. They don't like the media clearly covering up. They don't like any. All these things make you not vote for them. So you have all that on one side. Yeah, on the other side, you have there's a lot of crazy people out there. There are a lot of crazy people out there who are like, I don't care. I don't care who it could be, the Chancellor of Germany in the 1930s, who led the very, very naughty National Socialists. It could be him, because the other guy, Trump, is worse than that guy, right? I don't care who. It could be the alien from. You remember the TV show V? Yeah, that was about your. I think you caught that before you stopped watching TV. Remember V, where they had the people would take their faces off and there are lizards underneath, and they were eating people.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It must have been after your time. It was in the early 80s, so I thought I might catch it. Rabbi Beckhoff has stopped watching TV a while back. So anyway, so you could be one of those guys, and they just don't care. There's a lot of crazy people out there. There's a lot of cheating going on. There's going to be a lot of cheating going on. They want to cheat very, very badly, right? And I don't think I just don't think that a Trump victory is in any way conscionable to a lot of insanely powerful people. So we have those two factors going against each other. What do you think is going to happen? Now, the reason I think he's going to win, is because I think God controls the world. I think God controls the world. And I think Trump has been too openly in God's corner. Like, he's been fantastic for Israel, fantastic for. I think if you do something private, they say the how could God allow the Holocaust to occur? And one of the reasons they talk about is because they were still very secretive about it, right? But when you do something very publicly, very openly, God would kind of be like not having Trump's back, and God would sort of need to have Trump's back at this point when Trump's had his back, to such a insane level, right? So that's why I think Trump will win. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong about many, many things. But but what way do you think this is going to go, Rabbi Beckhoff?
Well, I mean, it's the truth is, just like what's really going on here is much bigger than Donald Trump and the whole Democratic Party. It's a clash of world orders. I think the main battle is really happening in the heavenly spheres, and the heavenly entities are riding on top of the elephant and the donkey. But to your point about the Holocaust, listen, we, the Jewish people prior to the Holocaust, did a lot of, they departed from tradition. Once upon a time, there was virtually no such thing as a non-observant Jew until.
Oh yeah, there was obviously that as well. Listen, I'm not big at I think, but I think the point I was making there was that if someone does something very, very publicly, very, very pro God kind of is obligated at that point to try and have you back, I guess. I mean, as much as God is obligated to everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, all things being neutral, your calculation would be correct that the publicity aspect is a big issue that God would respond to, but that's not the only factor.
You can't rely on anything.
Right.
By the way, we do have the answer to what is ultimately going to happen in the universe. Robert Payne gave it to us in the chat right here. Right. It says spoiler: God wins. Spoiler: God wins.
God will win at the end of time. The question is, but when the game is over. But there's also, is he going to win this period? Now
By
it's
the way,
not.
there's a fascinating insight you're about to get into the non-Jewish mind. A fascinating insight you're about to get if you read this character. Now, this is a good guy. We like the Time Prophet. He's a friend of ours. So
Right.
I wish that was the case, mate. Oh, no such thing as a poor Jew. Oh, please. that God smiles on us often. There was a Holocaust as well, but God smiles on us often. But there are many poor Jews, I'm afraid.
Yeah. No, look, let's just put this in perspective, the way we explained it in Jewish philosophy. Of course, God is omnipotent, but God wants us to be players. And as it were, he will throw the fight. The Satan is like just shadow boxing for him, because he created Satan himself. Satan doesn't have any real power. But God says, I will throw the fight. I'll take the dive if you guys don't, behave morally. So he will act as if defeated, but he's really taking a dive to teach us a lesson. Right? And then we have to make sure now the real way to secure a victory for Trump and the Republican Party is really repentance, and at least, right? And at least when going to the ballot, one should put a little bit of a religious spin on when he pushes the button. And by the way, vote in person. In mail, they will harvest your ballot and they'll burn it. But
I really believe that's going to happen.
I am me and my kids were waking up at the crack of dawn Tuesday to stand in line, right? So now listen.
Rabbi
Yes.
I have some good news for you. The Beckin household have already mailed in not one, not two, not three, not four, but five. Count them, five ballots in a swing county in Florida. The Dade County, Florida, very good place. By the way, I just want to answer Chris Lawley. I totally get it from somebody who's not religious. It's crazy. It's a crazy way to look at the world. And I'm going to say I am open to the possibility. I might be wrong about everything. I'm talking to you about how my decision-making process is made. And here's the weird thing. That with this like crazy religious worldview, right? This crazy religious outlook, my prediction model has been more accurate than anybody else's thus far. And okay, could be chance, could be coincidence, could be dumb luck. I could be right. I don't know. But I'm saying, I get it. Again, people have different ways of looking at the world. It's just you view this as like, well, this is how crazy people think. Okay, so if you're looking that way, that's cool too.
Right. But let me finish my thought. Whether Chris, can relate to it or not, right? Even aside from repenting and prayer between now and Tuesday, and but the idea that you go to vote in person because that's the more secure way to do it. Yeah, and as you push the button, also you should say to God, "I'm doing this for you." Right? And it's not just to get brownie points with him. It can really make the difference between a effective vote and a ineffective vote. What do I mean? Because our sages say everything is dictated by heaven except our recognition and awe of heaven. Meaning that really, the weather works the way the weather works. We can't change it. Physics, biology, chemistry works the way it works. We can't change it. And one could say the laws of the economy and politics work the way they work. The one movable part that there is in reality are the good deeds, the things that we do for God. That's the movable part in reality that we really move around and really change. So if you put a religious spin on your vote, make it like it's a mitzvah, and that's why I'm doing it, to make sure it goes through perfectly. It'll be counted because God believes for you. That vote will have more cosmic vibe that makes a difference than a vote that's done with no spiritual spin on it whatsoever. Because the real movable part of the cosmos that we can affect is the good deeds and spiritually oriented deeds that we do. You want to maybe translate? Do you want to translate that for the?
Yeah, look, I guess basically, the rabbi is saying this that if God exists, which I really believe he does, and I'm going to say here as well, if God exists, then everything is a. Oh, it's too complicated. Too complicated way of saying it. Look, if God exists, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Whether you believe in God, whether you don't believe in God, it doesn't hurt. When you go and put your ballot and you say, listen, God, if I don't know if you're there, or if you do know if you're there, say you know that. I don't know if you're there, but please, could you aid this ballot? Could you aid this ballot in finding in winging its way to bring Donald Trump as the next president, so he can continue this incredible ride? I think we can all agree. That Donald Trump has been an entertaining president, as well as many other things. I appreciate the entertainment. I fear the entertainment will turn to personal tragedy very, very quickly if he doesn't win. I really do fear that. I genuinely do. Finally, by the way, I just want to bring Time Profits reply back, because it's a very good reply. I was talking about money. I was being a bit Jewy. You're right. Riches are not wealthy, surely. Put it in your face. Yeah, listen. That is true. But if you can get yourself a very expensive, religious objects to perform your religious rites with, we like that too. We do like a bit of bling. We like a bit of that Jewy bling. I think we can agree to that.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Yeah. Does anybody in your audience have a question for me or want to challenge me why I believe it is the greatest good deed people could do if they care about God, right, is to go out and vote for Donald Trump and for the Republican Party all the way down.
This is a gauntlet not laid down. Would anybody like to come on to the show? Because I hope not, because I wanted to wrap up now. But does anybody have any questions or wanted to come on the show and ask Rabbi Berhoff any questions about his outlook, which, by the way, I agree with. I do actually agree with. But if anybody would like to ask him his any questions on it, go ahead now. Speak now, or forever hold thy peace. Now, I'm hoping you're going to hold thy peace, because it's come out 7 o'clock. I haven't actually eaten today. I'm a bit peckish. And I normally go for 2 hours. I just looked at the geeky news, and I was going to go over it with you. Not really anything much to even talk about. Apparently, Joe Biden's son was offered a. I'll show you this one story. Which we can. It's as we are in a little political vibe right now. There we go. Bounding into comics, the great Bounding into Comics website by John F. Trent. No, that's the wrong way. There we go. Doink. So apparently, alleged laptop leaker claims China offered Mulan star Liu Yifei to Joe Biden to Hunter Biden as a sex bribe. So that's just kind of crazy, isn't it? Shall we read the story, or do you want to just forget about it? It goes on for a while. Actually, not that long. Do you want to read it, or do you want to comment on it in any way?
No one has any questions for you, which is fine. Happy to have open dialogue.
I don't know what that was. That was really weird. I just had a big. That's so weird. But I think it's this. Is it this? Wow, that was so strange. Don't know whether there must be something playing there. Fine, yeah. So we have one question here. Would you like some toast? That is a reference to Red Wolf. Do not answer that question. Okay, not me. I'm a Gentile. I love the Torah, but I can't stand toe-to-toe with him even to even agree. Okay, listen, I guess. Here's a question. Well, there you go. Come back. Lonnie Webb had a question. No, that's 1 second. Where'd it go? Right, here's my question. Do you think Fiddler on the Roof is the greatest movie ever?
I don't know if the greatest movie ever. It was pretty good, actually.
I kind of like Fiddler. I have to say, I actually have the sound. I paid for the soundtrack with Fiddler on the Roof, right? I paid for that. So I think we're going to end on this comment from the chat from Who Knew actually knew quite often. Can't wait for the Trump win. I'm with you there, Who Knew. Although I will be streaming on Tuesday, election night. So listen, if he doesn't win, I will not come on all forlorn, but I do hope he wins. Are that reeing and screaming from the woke lab? Yes, that is always nice. But you know what is not nice, Rabbi Berkhofer? It says in Perkiyama, the ethics of a father. Be certain in your judgment. Be certain in din, right? As one of the, you will remember, had drilled into me in ancient Torah, one of the 48 ways of wisdom. Be certain in din. So, unfortunately, this website, StreamYards, that I use, wasn't made by people who were so in their judgment. You know why? Because I clicked the end broadcast button, and you know what it says? Are you sure? Do you really want to end the broadcast? Well, quite frankly, if I didn't want to end the broadcast, I wouldn't click the button. I find that question an affront. Is there anything you would like to say before I click the second end broadcast button, which actually does end the broadcast? I think you're good. Hell, Destiny, Mountain Demon. Okay, that's a pretty good thing to end on.